The Jim and the Terry Show. Brought to you by
Pencils.
Pencils. I love pencils.
Yes.
Do they come with edibles on the end instead of erasers?
That's it, pencils. But if you send a love gift into us of $5
a month,
we'll think about you.
Or a one-off. How about buy me a coffee? Have you seen those fundraisers on different YouTube channels? You can buy somebody a coffee, you click on that, and you send the equivalent of a value of a cup of coffee.
What do you think about the sponsorship on the NHL's jerseys?
You mean Toronto Milk?
Toronto Milk. Hi, Bobby.
That's utterly ridiculous.
Anyways.
They're putting us out to pasture.
I don't know.
That's what they do with retired leaves. Oh, we could have so much fun. There's just a load of manure to spread on this one. All right. You said hi to Bob. Hi, Bob. Ones and twos, the studio audience. Whoever you are, God bless you all in your tinfoil hats for listening into this ranting and raving. Actually, we're going to talk about something interesting, switching politics from Terry's favorite topic, which is American politics and the absurdities of their system, to the Canadian political system and the leadership victory of Pierre Poilievre. That's Russian. What are we talking about? CCP?
I don't know.
USSR. Okay, yeah. What we're talking about here is populism in Canada, and the kind of populism that perhaps is akin to what is going on in the United States with Trump and the MAGA world. Is that the same as those who support Pierre Poilievre?
I think a little bit, yeah. I mean, he made a name for himself when the occupation of Ottawa, took place, and he was there sort of agreeing with the people that wanted anarchy and wanted to hang Trudeau and dissolve the government.
Okay, he might have embraced their sentiments.
Sentiments. Okay.
But did he really think that, or was he just listening?
No, he was getting his face out and signing up people in order to be a part of the party. And that's okay. You can do that. And he signed up an awful lot of people. And that those people voted, became members and voted to elect him the leader of the Conservative Party.
Is that how he got 68%?
That's part of it, yeah. But, I mean, that's nothing new. I remember when I was a young man, I can't even remember who the candidate was. But they went around and they signed up, and I was one of them, a part of the Conservative Party. I went to some party going, believe it or not, saying to myself, that's our guy? I could do this.
And you should have. I've always said I'd vote for you.
Anyway, so Poilievre, didn't he sign up 30,000 or was it 300,000?
I don't know.
A lot of people.
A lot of people. And so,
but that's part of the job. And if you've got the energy and the youth to do it, do it.
It is. It is.
And that's how he beat the leader of the Conservative Party.
So the other people didn't really have a chance right out of the gate.
That's right.
So do you think the moderates fronted Jean Charest just to make it look like a moderate?
Part of the others, number one, there's probably several reasons why someone runs. Jean Charest probably wanted to be the leader and thought this is the time to come in.
I think he was an afterthought myself. Moderates who got scared of Poilievre and populism.
Maybe, but then there's others who just want a position in government.
Yes.
So they run. They know, especially in the United States.
So it's name brand recognition?
It's name brand recognition.
So they had no hope against going for PP,
no hope.
But they did allow their names to stand and did go to some debates. Poilievre didn't even go to all the debates.
No, because he knew he had it. I mean, there's a certain part of wisdom.
Isn't that arrogance?
No,
not wisdom?
Well, it can be arrogance. I don't care. I don't know at this point. Probably arrogance. I don't know if you remember. I told you way back that this guy was going to be running. He's going to be a candidate. I told you way back because I could tell by his whole personality, his confidence, and his out there, and his directness, and his crispness. You notice how crisp and he was. So I knew he was going to be a candidate. Lo and behold, here he is, and he won it.
What do you think of leadership styles of Pierre Poilievre and Trudeau? Because they are seemingly to be at opposite ends of some kind of spectrum of personality.
They are, but I mean, one of the reasons Trudeau's going to Japan, number one, a good move, I believe, but to New York, he didn't have to go there. I think, knowing the climate of the world right now, I'm glad he went, but I'm just saying he's got his critics, and of course, the Queen's funeral he had to go to.
Yep.
But that's to keep yourself out there and in front of people, and that's a part of it all. So Poilievre did that. He when it was the we controversy, he was leading that. He was the main face behind that. And so you got to know him. You could see his confidence and everything else. And then he gets known within his party. And, you know, political parties are just average, everyday Joes, a lot of which don't want to be leaders. They just want a leader. So
he's not an average Joe. He's been a political candidate since he was...
No, but what I meant is all the people within a party. As I said, when I went to this one place, I was saying, jeepers, I think I could do this. I could be the leader. I'll learn some of these policies. I meant that. I mean, everybody was so incredibly common. You know, it was incredible to me. Even those who were going to be in government, they just were all common to me. So if you rise above like he did, he's just heads above. He's there. He's crisp, fluent, and not only English but Spanish. You know, I mean, what more do you want at this point? You're not even thinking policies at this point, because anybody can say anything prior to being the leader.
True. And even as a leader, you could probably say a whole bunch of stuff that isn't going to likely
not
pass
even do it.
Anyway. And,
well,
and now with the
thing.
minority government, you have the ability of Trudeau to say a whole bunch of stuff, and unless Jagmeet Singh supports him, none of that stuff will come to be.
That's how you play the game. I wanted to do this. They wouldn't go with me.
Right. You can blame so you can point the fingers.
But that's this game that we really don't want to be in.
What about the finger pointing of Poilievre to Trudeau about inflation?
Well, again,
legit or an illegitimate critique?
You know what? To tell you the truth, I don't know. Honest, where my frame of mind is at this particular point, I don't like throwing money at things either, right? But I don't know what else you're going to do when all hell's breaking loose. It's easy to throw all kinds of things at someone when it's not going to matter to you. And then we know what we've seen it with every political party that's ever entered into leadership. When they get there, they go, it was worse than I thought. And so they can't do what they said they were going to do. Always blaming the person, the group that was before them. Yeah. So you can say anything, but add up how much that's going to cost. You know what I mean? Like, there's some things that Poilievre said that I really, really liked, but, I mean, can you do this? Like, he wants to really, really emphasize making our own energy way with gas, but the world right now is trying to go green. I still like the idea of us processing our own fuel. I like that, but I don't have to make that decision. And if you laid it out in front of me and said, well, it's going to cost $68 billion to build a plant, which is going to take us 75 years to pay off, and by 75 years, maybe there's going to be another source, I may change my mind. That's how things happen. You can say anything you want to get people to vote for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure about a number of policies. One would be the energy policy that the Conservatives are advocating. Conservatives are usually not progressive, which means they're not usually on board with climate change, for instance. So here Trudeau and the NDP and the Green, three parties, are all talking about green energy and making the economy shift to green, renewable energy, getting off the carbon fuels and looking forward to a carbon-free
And has
future.
Poilievre said anything about trying to go green? Or is he just talking about
maintaining the existing, since Canada has an abundance of green, why wouldn't you? So that's conservative policy is, yes, we're talking about keeping the oil and gas.
But no conservative government has done it.
Has done what?
Refined our own oil.
No, you're talking about a big cost. The refining goes to the States. That's where our oil goes. Our crude goes to the United States for that.
Well, we can't get it there because Biden closed the pipeline.
But that's not just the only source. I mean,
I know.
it can get there. So, yeah, Poilievre is probably looking at trying to get a pipeline done. And to some extent, it's a short-term solution. The real solution is going green, and we got 3 political parties who want to do it, and one dragging its feet and doesn't want to do it. That's a harsh one. Maybe a moderate position conservatives might be to say they're looking for a transition plan. The only thing I would say is that there ain't no time to mess around with a transition. You got to put in the highways that are electrical, the cars that are electrical, and shift to home-generated electricity. Get off the grids. Let's claim some of this back.
Too bad we didn't have time. We could have talked about fusion.
Ooh, fusion. Ford car or energy?
No, the energy model.
All right, next show, Jim.
Okay, next show.
There's always a next.
There is a next show, isn't there, Terry?